Okay, now we're recording.
It's showtime.
Score Report episode 403.
Wow.
Right.
Good evening.
We're
It's
Sally
still our
Jesse
anniversary.
glasses just for you, Jay.
Awesome.
Very nice. Very nice. What you got your White Claw. We're all good.
No, it's not a White Claw. I found a new thing at the grocery store.
Ooh.
And it's high in alcohol. It's 7%. But cacti.
Aha.
Yeah. And it's sweetened with like all agave nectar or some shit, it's spiked seltzer, it's gluten-free, only comes in 3 flavors: lime, strawberry, and pineapple. And I like it. It's pretty good. And the reason I like it is because it's not sweet. It tastes like a cocktail. So
nice.
Did they filter the spines
yeah,
out?
it's good.
No, you get free
did.
toothpicks.
I do know what agave is. I'm from Ohio.
There's not a lot of agave in Ohio.
Lots of
No, I'm
agave.
sure it's some sort of. Is that what they make tequila out of, agave?
Tequila, isn't
Is
it?
that what they make tequila out of, agave?
I'm not an expert.
Well, I think
Me
so.
either.
So
anyway,
that's
what we have this evening.
Levels. All right.
I'm kind of like exploring the whole range of gluten-free drinks.
I have a
This is pretty good.
Diet Mountain Dew.
I have nothing because I don't want to have to pee halfway through.
And there's a cat hugging my legs.
Which cat?
Ponzi.
Sorry, the landline. Yes, I have a landline. Is ringing, and
Yeah, I heard it. What is that?
It's all spam. It's all spam. Like the only time.
Of course it is.
That's
the only phone calls I get on my cell phone.
Oh my god! And it's like
your phone is ringing. What?
Well,
What?
it's a legacy. It's a legacy. We ported over our Comcast account when we moved. And we got the Comcast account in 98. So that was before cell phones were really, before the plans had unlimited. Let's put it that way. So people still did have landlines.
Right.
So it's been that way, and it'll be that way till we get rid of Comcast. So.
Huh. My mom has the same phone number that she had as a little girl.
Wow.
On her cell phone.
How did
she
that
made
happen?
the point to carry that.
That's awesome.
You'd have to ask my mom for the real story. Yeah, it is pretty cool. And it's a phone number I grew up with. So, I will never forget my mom's phone number. But she had, my mom grew up in Ohio and had this phone number and, grew up, moved to Ireland, moved to New York at a certain point, the whole big story. And then when she came back to Cleveland, the Cleveland area, when she was setting up her phone line, she asked if the number was available. And this was in the 60s, 70s. And the phone number was available. And so it's been her phone number ever since. And there was like this big thing when she switched to a cell phone. Like for a while, she still had the landline and then a cell phone number. And then eventually she decided, to go to AT&T and say, hey, can we switch everything over to my cell phone? So
Nice.
Kind of neat, Yeah.
I remember the first phone number I was aware of when I was a kid. And I remember it because my mom, it was when I was starting to go to school and my mom made me memorize it.
Yeah.
But that was before area codes.
Before area
Wow.
So it was,
Wow, Alan.
It was after they went to 7-digit dialing.
Okay.
So it wasn't the KL 539. It wasn't the
Klondike 5093.
Right. It wasn't that kind of number.
Yeah.
But we had a rotary phone and we had a 7-digit number. And as far as I know, there was no area code. I remember calling grandparents. I remember my parents calling grandparents long distance, and they'd have to like dial the operator to make a long distance call. And but the number 299-2927, I'll probably never forget that number. But it was it was weird. You think about it now,
I remember only having to dial 5 numbers, Alan.
Wow.
Our area was small enough. You didn't have to dial the area code.
Old.
And because the exchange, it goes area code exchange. Not a lot of people know that. But if you were in the same exchange, it was a local call, and you didn't have to dial. I distinctly remember dialing 3792. Is it 33792 for my grandparents?
Right.
Who are like up the street.
Yeah, a lot of people.
Now
a lot of people don't remember
the exchange is the thing where the exchange is the thing where it would be like
the middle 3,
like a word, right?
Yes.
Yeah. It would be a word where they put like because there was a very famous commercial in the Cleveland area, and it was Garfield 12323, and if you didn't grow up in that generation, you're like, what? Garfield 1? Like, how was that a phone number? But
you guys really liked the cat from the cartoons.
It was probably President Garfield.
Yeah.
Thank you, Alan.
I can't remember what that commercial was for. It was like a carpet place or something.
Yeah, I remember because I remember the rotary phones. I still have a rotary phone.
It's funny because I called it. You can tell because I called it the first 3 numbers and Jay said the middle 3, and because to me the area code's not really part of the number still, even after all this time.
Oh,
the area code's still like.
Yes.
This other thing.
Well, that's because you're in Texas and they all have the same area code. So.
No, it's funny, but I remember I remember calling because we were in Dallas, we were on the 214 exchange, and if you called another exchange, it was long distance.
Yep.
And intrastate long distance was actually more expensive than calling out of state long distance.
Yep. It's
crazy.
Something our kids have never known.
This is like the old folks reminisce show.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm going to talk about my blunderbuss later.
And and you used to be able to get a metro number in Dallas, which would let you call anything in the metro area as a local call. But it cost like 3 times as much. It was a lot more expensive.
I remember the long distance charges.
Yep. I remember calling it night, like late at
after
night.
9.
Yeah.
And I remember that.
And you had like when you were talking to grandma and grandpa, each person had like 30 seconds to talk. And Dad's sitting there looking at his wristwatch. All right, go. Next, you're done.
Oh God.
Oh, yeah.
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 I had a grandma in Ireland. Those were interesting phone calls.
Ooh,
yeah.
When I was
international.
It was
time
like
zones.
Time zones and international and super expensive, and the long delay. Like, and you had to shout into the phone.
They were still using
delay.
satellites then.
So basically, it's like
I don't know.
dealing with Joe Biden now.
That's where the delay came from, satellites, because they were going to geosynchronous orbit and back down again.
Oh, wow. I was expecting it was like a string across the ocean. If
there was a noticeable delay on your phone call, it's because it was going across satellite. Because when they started putting the transatlantic fiber in, that was a lot quicker. That got rid of the delay.
So is that what happens? We're going to our reporter on scene, Trisha Takanawa.
And that's because they're still using satellite for those news uplinks. Yep.
Like 20 minutes later, they're like, "Oh, we seem to have a problem," and poof, the person pops in already talking.
Yeah, well, it's even worse if you're going to another planet like Mars. 28 minutes round trip right now, which means when
that drone a pain in the ass,
which they're not controlling it in real time. It's programmed. So that was what I was segueing into. Very nice. The Perseverance rover is going to drop off a drone like sometime in the next week or so. I don't know, April, May. Anyway.
Okay.
I found out today that drone has a little like postage stamp piece of the cloth from the Wright brothers' first airplane.
Oh, that's awesome.
Placed inside it.
I just got goosebumps.
I know.
I just got goosebumps.
That's
wow.
cool.
So oh my God, literally goosebumps.
So we're going from the first flight in the early 1900s.
I'm sorry.
To a drone flying on Mars in 2021, and it's got the same piece of the airplane in it that flew.
That's pretty cool.
Yay, human beings.
I know, it's awesome. I hope it works. I hope they manage to fly it.
Well, it should be interesting because if I'm not mistaken, Mars has like a third the gravity of Earth. Something like that.
Yeah, something like that. But it's only got like 1% of the atmospheric density.
Yeah. So I would imagine the wings have to rotate faster.
They're like they said it spins like 2,800 RPM, something like that. And they're pretty big.
Yeah.
Like and the thing weighs like 4 pounds, the whole thing. So, which means it weighs what's 1/3 of 4 pounds?
1.333 repeating, of course.
Yeah. So that's what it weighs.
So what are they going to do with the drone? Are they going to fly it around and take pictures and stuff? Or
They're
is it just to fly it around?
Well, I think it has a camera on it, but the real goal is to see if they can fly something on Mars. Because if they can fly something on Mars, they're going to send more of those things on future missions, and they'll be able to like go up and fly around.
You're going to piss off Marvin. You make me very angry.
So not only will we have crawling robots on Mars, we'll have flying robots on Mars. And it made me think I was talking about this to Brita earlier in the week. We're talking, the aliens and UFOs are the big thing right now. And I've always had this theory that human, we have monster movies, right? Where the alien monster comes in and kills everybody. I think humans are the monsters. We are the horrible killing machines, and the aliens are showing up and they're going, fuck no, hell planet. Get the fuck, we're not staying around. So we're actually, instead of the Martians invading the Earth, we're sending robots to invade Mars.
When Earth attacks, we come in peace.
Yeah. That's what it is.
There was
Earth's invading Mars.
There was I'm trying to remember where it came from. It was like a forum group where it was basically, in the vast sci-fi, like it was set in the Star Trek universe. So, like the humans are like, it was, they phrased it as like, the Romulans are talking to the Klingons. They're like, you're so much smarter and stronger than the humans, but why do humans lead the Federation? And they're like, because we're too afraid to tell them not to. Like, what do you mean? Like, we gave them a warp drive. They blew it up on purpose and then asked for another one and just kept going on with all the crazy stuff that humans do. They live places where the weather can kill you. Who does that?
Right. Yeah.
We're basically the whole deer species.
Yeah.
We are the Florida man of the galaxy.
We are. Absolutely.
There's quite,
we are.
There's some truth to that.
I'm telling you, that's why you always see the UFOs, but they never come down. They never introduce themselves. They never,
as the phone resolution goes up, the UFO sightings goes down.
Yeah. It's like, get the fuck out of there. We're not hanging around.
We want no part of this. Nope. They're just noping right out.
Yep. And that's actually a big theme on Resident Alien.
Which yes, I have to again thank you for getting me tuned into that, because it is a riot. I still stand by my assessment that it's just a dark Mork and Mindy, but
it's a better Mork and Mindy because it doesn't have Robin Williams on it.
Yeah, I mean, poor Pam Dollar. What did she ever do?
Yeah. Can you imagine the the production meeting for that show. Okay, so the pitch meeting, right? So there's this, there's this reasonably hot nerdy chick, and she like works in a record store or something, and there's going to be this really obnoxious alien guy, except he looks like a person,
jacked up on cocaine.
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's 78 RPM in a 33 RPM world.
Yeah.
We're just hitting all the old timey stuff today.
I remember when he played that character on Happy Days.
Yep.
There was a crossover.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
And the Mort character originated on Happy Days.
He was like a one time.
Yeah, it was I think he was on 2 episodes, but still. Yeah.
And they never really explained how he went from 1950s Milwaukee to 1970s Denver.
Don't ask.
Right.
Yeah. Yes.
Hand wavy him.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
There we go. It's done.
Wow.
So.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's an alien, right? He could be like multi-dimensional, multi-space-time.
Yep.
Something.
And now that
they reverse the polarity.
And now that we've completely turned off our entire audience.
Let's talk about more old-timey stuff. Let's talk about typewriters. Yeah.
I do have
I'm still playing with this fish, but I just wanted to mention.
All right.
Somebody on our Sqrpt Facebook group this past week said something about don't go too video centric. I don't like to watch a video. I don't want to watch a video. Blah, blah. Okay. Okay. Like you're not. So don't watch. Like I don't care. Like I'm happy you listen, and I'm grateful for all of our listeners and stuff. Yeah. But like I'm not getting paid, so
yeah. like Ted Cruz.
You can watch or don't. I don't care.
Feel free to
step off.
Yeah. Feel free to step back. We're not.
Good old Ted Cruz.
We've never asked for money from our viewers. We've never we just basically do it for ourselves. I think
the closest we've ever even come to asking for attention is at my occasional pleas to join locals, which doesn't cost anything.
It's free.
It's free.
Yeah. I'll even send you a sticker for free.
That's right. We send you free stuff.
We're on locals.
That's right.
Yeah.
We can talk about all kinds of
some podcasts. They charge for those stickers.
That's right.
Some podcasts charge for
lots
stickers.
of money. Oh yeah.
I will send you one for free with a handwritten note.
You can't beat that.
It's a bargain, kid. Bargain.
Right? I know.
Come on.
Come on, man.
So,
but no, I just thought it was funny. I was like, I was thinking, you get what you pay for. Like,
that's with us, you really get what you pay for.
we're worth every penny.
If you don't like it, turn it off. Right. You're not paying for it. I don't care. You're not paying for it. I'm not getting paid.
It is what it is. This is where that phrase comes in. I do what I want. I've got. Oh shit! I don't have any paper, but yeah, I've got. The fuck is his name? Parks and Recreation's Offerman's character, Nick Offerman. Why can I not think of Ron Swanson?
Oh yeah,
I've got Ron Swanson's permit. It's just a piece of paper that says I do what I want.
That's right.
There you go.
Like you could hear my brain just. I see kids before fuel injection, they were carburetors. You have to choke the engine, and if you forgot to choke the engine, it would not turn over, no matter what you did.
Speaking of cars. Speaking of cars.
No.
Oh boy.
I have a truck story.
Okay.
Not a Jeep.
I have decided to purchase another truck for a variety of reasons. One of which the one I have now is 6 years old.
Oh my God, the horror.
I know. But
how old is your car, Rita?
What?
I don't even know anymore.
Well, I just know they stopped.
She's elderly.
But they stopped making it 9 years ago.
My Jeep's a 2007. So, give me a break. Anyway, with the inflation going the way it's going, it's a really good time to get loans on stuff you might need in the next few years, because
I'd wait a bit, Alan.
No.
Once gas hits $5 a gallon, seriously, in all seriousness, big trucks are going to be like, "Oh shit!"
But the one I'm going to get, the Ford Hybrid F-150.
Oh, okay. So
hybrid.
Is that the EcoBoost with the?
It's an EcoBoost with an electric motor. Over 500 foot-pounds of torque.
Alan,
Jay,
you're in Texas.
I know.
Didn't Texas recently experience some problems with its electrical grid? Do you think this?
Yeah, but it's not a plug-in hybrid. It's got the big twin turbo V6 thing hauls ass. Anyway, beside the point.
Right. My
story. I went because I've never driven one of these. They call it a power boost. Anyway, I went to the dealership. I'm actually having to order the one I want because nobody in the inventory system has what I want. So I'm having to order it from the factory. Anyway, so I went to test drive one, and we're driving around. It's a truck. I've had Ford trucks for decades. They just keep getting better. And so it's got it's like a space shuttle cockpit.
This is not sponsored, by the way.
No, it's not. I'm just talking about it. It's got this giant 12-inch LCD screen in the console that powers everything. The dash is a completely digital display. There's no analog gauges anywhere in it. Anyway, so we're driving along, and I pull back into the dealership, and the guy goes, "You want to try out the self-parking thing?" And I was like, "What?" I said, "Oh, you mean like that thing where it like parallel parks itself?" And he goes, "It'll do that." He goes, "It'll also pull into a regular parking space by itself." And I'm like, why would you why can't you pull into your own parking space? So I was like, all right, I'll give it a try. So here's the process. First off, you don't get to pick the spot you want to park in.
It's random. It's 6 lots over.
You have to drive along until the truck decides there's a spot it wants to park itself into. So there's for me, first fail, right? Then when it finds a spot, it says, you have to stop. And then you put the shift in neutral, take your foot off the brake, and you press the park button. And then the goddamn thing starts driving itself. The wheels turning, it's backing around, it's doing all this stuff. I almost panic brake because the thing looked like it was going to run into another truck. And the sales guy's like, "Just leave it alone. Don't touch it." And I was like, if it runs into something, it's not my fault.
I'm not driving.
And it backed around and it pulled into this parking space. And, you ever have an experience that it's like the opposite of a religious experience?
It was a satanic experience.
It was so awful. It's like the truck was possessed. It was like I'm sitting in the driver's seat of a truck, and it is steering itself and driving itself. It is the most god awful feeling.
Wasn't that a Stephen King novel?
Yeah,
that's what I'm thinking. Was there a movie or a?
Yeah,
no, there was no movie. So. Much like Starship Troopers, there was no movie.
Right, there was no movie.
Oh. Right.
Anyway, it was
Maximum Overdrive.
Maximum Overdrive. That's right. And so I got out of the truck. I was like, no, it's just no.
Do you know what I can't stand?
That's not standard, cars? Is it?
No, you have to. It's like, well, I think they put it on a lot of stuff, but it's an option.
Where the engine shuts off every time you come to a stop for more than a second or so.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, that cannot be good. Starting your
That's
car
weird
like
to me.
the worst. It's like the worst thing you could do to the engine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And your car is going to do it willingly hundreds of times a trip.
Yeah.
Whose brilliant idea was this?
The EPA.
Like every time you stop at a light, your car shuts off.
It shuts off.
On a lot of the newer
that in
cars,
traffic.
Yep.
A lot of the newer cars
just randomly start. You know, like,
and it's really bad in hot weather when you got air conditioning on. So they also have a way you can turn that off, but you have to do it every single time.
Every time you get in,
or you go in with one of those aftermarket programmers and shut it off permanently. But it was really freaky, and honestly, it made me rethink my whole self-driving car thing. I think it's going to be a bigger problem than people think. I think it's going to be, not only is it going to be harder to do, I think it's going to be harder for people to accept it.
Yeah.
Because people like being in control of their cars.
That's the whole point of a car as opposed to a bus or a train.
Exactly. And I don't think people are going to be happy with giving that up.
Did that truck park itself at the same speed at which you would have parked it?
No, it was a lot slower.
What's that going to look like in, let's say, a supermarket parking lot the night before a snowstorm?
Right.
Oh my God.
Well,
you're gonna have these fucking Yutzes, beep boop, and then a little car is gonna go zip, and steal the spot, and
you're right.
Error, and you're sitting in the middle of the aisle with error flashing on the screen, going, what do I do?
I wonder what happens in that circumstance. Does the truck like back out of it, or
I guess it does. It stops.
Stop?
Well, it's got cameras all around it, so it knows.
Well, I know, but like in that circumstance, like the truck is already programmed to go into the spot, and then if somebody,
it's
comes the other way,
like a real time thing. It's got, if somebody was coming along, it would stop. But
there's going to be
the whole you can't pick the spot you want to park in was really offensive to me. I can't now. I could almost get it if you could like pull up next to a spot and go, that's the one I want, and it parks itself.
There's no option for that.
Because
what if you need a handicap spot?
Park it yourself, I guess. I mean,
so then that's not ADA compliant.
I don't know.
It is not.
There's a lot of
it's completely ableist.
There's a lot of I don't knows with this, but the whole thing about it has to, because I guess it has to find a parking space that meets its parameters that are programmed in, a certain size and depth and all that kind of stuff. So
sure.
I mean, I've been parking for decades. I don't think I have a problem with it, but
Brita, I wonder how that works in the snow. Because I would assume that it uses the cameras.
Can't see the lines.
Bingo.
Yeah.
So it's just going to be like, no, you're going to have
it's not, it's not mandatory. You don't have to use it, but still.
No, but people are stupid, Al.
Oh, I know. They're going to try to do it.
Really fucking stupid.
There's going to be people driving up and down parking lots unable to park because they keep expecting their stupid car to park for them, and they can't do it.
Yep. And they're going to lose the ability. It's like this whole backup cameras have to be mandatory so that we don't back over kids for the 2 or 3 times a year it happens. Right. And it's terrible.
Right.
But it's preventable. And backup cameras are, I don't know that they're worth the trade-off, because you get people who are just glued to the screen when they back up. They don't look anywhere else. So I'll look at the screen. And I'm like, okay, A, it rains. B, it snows. C, technology fails. You don't teach people to check the damn mirrors everywhere.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Turn your head and look.
Just look at the screen. Speaking of screens, when you mentioned the 12-inch LCD, please tell me they did it better than Toyota. That's not me. Toyota, in their newer cars, has this massive screen It looks like they took an iPad and just slammed it into the dashboard. Just boom, done. It's like, who came up with this? Yes, I want to have an iPad stuck in my dash.
Yeah, they did that on the Teslas too, where it's just like it looks like the iPad's just kind of sticking out. No, on the truck it's like set into the dash.
You've got a bigger dash area to work with.
Yeah.
It's just, like somebody said we need to have a bigger screen. Oh, what do we do? Oh, we'll just put it on top. We'll just stick it. You got this iPad just bumped into the top of the dash.
Yeah, what a lot of people don't understand about the backup camera is it's not a replacement for your rear view mirrors or looking around. It is the single function of the backup camera or the reverse camera is to look and see if there's anything behind you before you start backing up.
Yep.
Once that's done, stop looking at the fucking thing.
It could be accomplished with a beep. You could have something.
Yeah, but you could have something underneath it. I mean, I added a backup camera to the Jeep because with that 35-inch tire in the back, I can't see shit. So I put a camera back there.
One of those cameras when I was towing the camper.
Right.
Because it would allow me to hook up by myself rather than having to have somebody else.
Right.
And do the leaning out the having
they
the
put
back
those
window open.
They put those on all the trucks now. If you get a tow package, you get the the camera that points at the hitch.
Again, I like backup cameras. I have one in my RAV4 and it's great for determining, am I in the space all the way? Yes, yes I am. Put it in reverse, check it out. Okay, good.
Yep. But
as someone who has taught one person to drive and is currently teaching a second person to drive, it's now fortunately they're still teaching kids to look, check your rear view, check your side view, which is good. But eventually they're not going to. You got a camera, why do you need to look? And your car has cameras all around it.
Your car drives itself. Why do you need to learn how to drive?
My daughter locked up her brakes in her car. We were doing some, parking lot stuff and, skidded. And she was like, they didn't teach us how to deal with this in driver's ed because all cars have ABS these days. Except they don't. 2006 PT Cruiser doesn't have ABS. Believe me, I know.
Not all the time.
ABS doesn't always work.
And I, as someone who's owned numerous vehicles with ABS where I've gotten the tires to lock up.
Oh yeah, you can do it.
But, so we went to a parking lot, took it up to 30, slam on the brakes. And, okay, now release. But got over it. But it was just, that's the whole thing. That's the progression. As the longer the technology is in place, we forget that there was ever a way to do it before the technology, and then it just goes away.
Right.
And you're gonna have people that there's snow on my backup camera. What do I do? I guess I'm stuck here.
Snow crash.
Yeah. Well, that involves getting out of the car, but it's okay because we won't have cars for any longer because they'll all have to be electric, and we won't be able to produce electricity. So,
bicycles. We'll all be on bicycles.
Before we get into the meat of the program.
There's meat?
There's meat. That's all.
Is there a long lag? I think there is.
A little bit. We can work around it.
Yeah. I just want to let you know that I have made another step into reclaiming my life after COVID. And I went back to the gym this week. Yesterday, in fact.
Awesome.
Yeah.
The gym is open.
Unfortunately, it is open.
Did you make the same mistake I make, Brita? Where it's like, hey,
I didn't think I did that much.
Of this.
I didn't feel like I did that much. However,
wait till tomorrow or the day after tomorrow.
It's a different story. Oh my God. Like I just felt like I had started anew. Yeah. Going upstairs, sitting on the toilet. It's all very exciting today. So, but yeah, it was okay. but nobody was wearing masks, which was kind of like surprising. It was fine. Everybody gave everybody else some space. I did not die.
Excellent.
Yeah,
there might actually be a benefit to COVID because maybe people will clean off their damn workout equipment.
Yes. That's one of the rules is like clean it after you're done. Definitely clean it.
Isn't that the worst thing? You go over to a bench or a particular machine and it's wet and you're like,
it's all sweaty.
Yeah, and you're like, that ain't that's not water and that's not cleaning solution. That's perspiration.
Yeah. Ew. Yuck.
Yeah, it's just maybe like just maybe
butt crack sweat on the seat.
Yep.
Nah.
Pass.
I don't want the Windex bottle. I want a super soaker from 20 feet away.
Yeah.
That's why I have a weight bench in my basement.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, it was my kind of deal with myself. It was my kind of deal with myself that when my mom got vaccinated, that I would start, doing stuff because I'm not going to be afraid anymore of.
Awesome. Yeah,
that was my big thing. Like, I don't want to kill my mom. I don't want to be the one for COVID, so.
And even if it wasn't your fault, you'd have thought it was your fault.
Yeah.
Right. So we're good.
Unless it was like a piano or something, I had nothing to do with
that. Freak piano accident.
Cartoon piano falling from the second floor.
We didn't even have a piano. We don't know where it came from. We think there was a coyote involved in the Acme Corporation.
Oh,
yes, more old-timey stuff, kids.
Yeah.
Speaking of old-timey stuff, Joe
That's
Biden.
Right. Speaking of old-timey stuff.
Oh, my God.
That was a terrible segue, but we got to get into it.
That was a terrible press conference, so it's fitting.
Oh, God.
I did not watch the press conference.
I've seen bits and pieces.
Did you watch any clips of it?
I have watched clips of it.
It was terrifying. Terrifying. And the most infuriating part is that the same media that for 4 years was diagnosing Donald Trump with personality disorders and this, that, and the other thing.
Yeah.
They're all like, oh, isn't Joe Biden dreamy? Oh, he fell asleep.
Is he doing great?
He fell asleep in the middle of a press conference. But other than that, it was great.
Yeah.
Nobody's pointing out, that the emperor has. Not only does the emperor have no clothes, he fucking shit himself too.
Yeah. I like the thing that showed his cheat sheet for the reporters and the questions.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
And they're all circled with a number. So
and a picture of them.
Call on this one first. And a picture.
Right.
Call on this one first. And here's the response.
He's just pushing buttons.
Yeah.
And
then I'm sure the responses were all written down so he could match up the number of the reporter with the number of the response because they all knew the questions beforehand and he knew the questions and
Yep.
And they all had
let this be a real thing
in case they asked them. They dared to ask one that wasn't approved.
Right. Oh man.
But
jeez.
And going back a little further with the incident on Air Force One, I saw
which one?
He fell multiple times
falling up the stairs.
I did see someone who.
Sorry, I can't help it. I have to laugh.
Who objected.
I watched that on loops for a long time.
There were like a zillion memes between Trump hitting golf balls at him, to Donkey Kong throwing barrels at him, to one of them was a stair lift going up Air Force One. And great. I saw criticism of that we shouldn't make fun of Joe Biden because he had trouble getting up the stairs. And, on its face, that's true. Except, remember Donald Trump was roundly criticized for taking his time to going down a wet ramp. Right. And they were like, oh, this raises questions about Trump's fitness and blah, 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 blah. Trump can't even walk down a ramp. And Joe Biden made a point at his next event to jog down a ramp.
Right.
So you live by the sword, you die by the sword.
Unless you're a Democrat.
Well, yeah, because history began yesterday.
Right.
But it's, ordinarily, I don't think we should poke fun of the elderly. It's not nice. On the other hand, though, you reap the whirlwind.
Unless the elderly is an evil son of a bitch who's been an evil son of a bitch his entire life.
And, they're coming out. Very interesting story in the New York Post about, Hunter Biden and a firearm.
Oh, but Jay, it's the New York Post.
Yeah. They're not like
Post,
legitimate.
Jay. It's not like real news.
Well, I saw the most interesting thing. The Secret Service, the allegations are the Secret Service showed up looking for the paperwork and for Hunter Biden's gun because, he can't buy one because he's a user of drugs, and that is one of the disqualifying questions on the Form 4473.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
The Secret Service claimed they weren't involved. Okay. And they weren't. Joe Biden was not receiving their protection in 2018. And I'm like, I do believe that is a pile of shit.
Of course he was.
Because last time I checked, president's
he was vice president.
Gets Secret Service protection forever. George W. Bush gets Secret Service protection. Jimmy Carter gets Secret Service protection.
Yep.
How the fuck you could say, no, he was not under our protection at the time. We couldn't have looked into it. He's not under our protection. Excuse me? Needless to say, the
maybe
FBI
they meant
no comment.
Not those specific, maybe it's like, not specifically those agents.
I'm sure the journalistic standards in the New York Post might have missed something, but still, that you could make a comment that could be misconstrued as Joe Biden was not under Secret Service protection. But it's interesting because,
if he wasn't under Secret Service protection, why were they going to that gun store looking for the paperwork for Hunter Biden's gun? What's the Secret Service got to do with that? Nothing at all.
The story is that the gun was thrown into the trash at a local supermarket that is across the street from a school by Hunter Biden's, I don't know if they were dating at the time, but, his brother's widow.
Yes.
That he cheated on to father a baby with a stripper. And again, I keep coming back to, imagine if that were Eric Trump. I'm sure the media would be just as circumspect in their coverage.
Well, the difference is Eric Trump could probably buy a gun because he's not a drug user, and
Well, yeah, but I just
isn't disposing of a firearm like in a random trash can kind of a crime?
When it's that close to a school, it is.
Ooh,
and they went back. They went back. She went back to get it later, and there's like it disappeared, and then somebody found it. Somebody was like looking through. Every place has this person that looks for recyclable cans.
Yeah, looking for cans or sure.
But you can't just you can't just take something that a firearm that is serialized and they know who has it and just throw it away. It's not a banana peel.
Well, you can.
Well, yeah. If you don't mind being picked up by a crackhead using murder and But again, and again, once again, the cops were to come across a firearm that was traceable to you or I in a trash can outside of an Aldi's across the street from a school. I don't think they'd be going, oh, well, he was not under our protection at the time, so it's all good.
Yeah. Well,
you shop at Aldi's.
Somebody,
I know it's a supermarket that more people have heard of than Shaw's. So
yes.
So I guess Giant is well known. Piggly Wiggly. There, it wasn't a Piggly Wiggly. I just like saying Piggly Wiggly.
Piggly Wiggly's good. Although it's not as good as the Mad Butcher.
The Mad Butcher. range or Buc-ee's. That's not a supermarket though, is it? It's a
it damn near is.
It's like
it almost is.
Quick Trip or a Wawa or
it's a Quick Trip or a Wawa the way the sun is a supernova. It's there's no comparison.
Yeah.
The Buc-ee's,
I mean, if it was a grocery store, then it also would be like a home goods store and then a camping store and then like clothing store and
I've seen grocery stores smaller than Buc-ee's.
Or
everything.
Harbor Freight.
It's bigger than that. You can buy deer feeders
with
and
food,
corn, and I mean you can buy everything. And they have the one near me has the world's longest car wash.
Is that a wash for the world's longest car or
no? It is a long ass car wash that takes a considerable amount of time to get through, and it's really cool.
It does.
They did it well. Ree's been through it.
I have been through it.
It's like it's like stopping, it's like stopping on the road to see the largest ball of twine.
Yeah.
When you're anywhere near the world's longest car wash, you have to go through it. You just gotta.
Doesn't matter if you just washed your car.
Doesn't matter. You still got to go through it
again.
Yep.
Oh gosh, but yeah. So especially while Joe Biden's blathering on about how we need more gun control. And meanwhile, we've got, Hunter just throwing guns into the trash. No, don't worry about it.
He means more gun control for you, Jay.
Rules are for the little people.
For you and for me. Yeah.
Well, given Joe Biden's experience with guns and the people that he knows that have them, he probably assumes everybody's like his fucked up son, so they probably shouldn't have a gun.
Maybe,
but he has a shotgun, so it's all good.
I honestly don't believe Joe Biden even has a shotgun.
Well, he told Jill just fire 2 blasts in the air.
I just don't.
Oh my God!
Just fire 2 blasts. Just someone's outside. Just fire through the door.
Here's one thing I've never understood about presidents. When you're the president and you have Secret Service protection, right? The Secret Service has all these cool training ranges and gun ranges. Hell, they probably got one in the basement of the White House. Why the fuck wouldn't you be all right? Let's go to the range. Fuck that golf shit. Go to the range, man.
I'd be like, you know what? I know somewhere there is a 2-seater A10. You're taking me up on that some bitch.
Exactly. We're going to strafe some shit. That's right. Why? Come on, man. Take advantage.
Be like, talk to the Secret Service guy. Be like, let me see that Mac 10. Come on, we're gonna go play with it.
Yeah. Give me
White House has a bowling alley. Oh no, it doesn't. Not anymore.
Not anymore. That's right.
Not anymore.
We're doing the White House IDPA League. Let's go.
Bowling.
I've never understood.
Bowling lanes means bowling pins for bowling pin shoots.
Oh, that's right.
Perfect.
There we go.
Oh my gosh. You're elected, Jay. You're my vote. I've never understood why first ladies do the first lady thing. I'd be like, who was that first lady who was like, no, I'm not doing it. Truman?
Bess Truman.
No. Bess Truman? No.
Yeah, it was Bess Truman.
Was it Bess Truman?
She stayed home.
She was no
home.
thanks.
She was like, she didn't want to be
I'm staying home.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's what she did.
Good for her. I've just never understood why first ladies think that they need to be
because they're attention whores and they they
what's on the first lady's schedule today? Well, she's sleeping in, and then that would be me. I'd be like,
the personal trainer is going to show up at 10. And
maybe I'd go to Jay's gun range.
They're as narcissistic as their husbands are.
I would go to Jay's gun range.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Forget that. We're not doing the Easter egg hunt in the lawn. We're doing,
it's still Peeps and Ruger 1022s.
There you go.
Oh, that would be fun, actually.
Yeah.
Peeps.
Oh, you know what you could do?
Have you done that, Jay?
Yes.
You know what you could do?
My daughter loves it. She saves all the Peeps.
No, what you could do is you could set up Peeps and use air rifles on the White House lawn. It'd be
1022.
Oh, yeah, you could.
Yeah, 22 carries. I mean, it's DC.
He has access to earth moving equipment, Alan.
Well, that's true. They could build a berm.
There's plenty of land there.
Yeah. Build a wall.
Well, they've already done that.
Yeah.
With barbed wire and it's
cat food time.
Just what?
It is
cat food time.
Oh, I thought you said caffeine time, and I was like, Alan's the one with the Mountain Dew.
Well,
I'm surprised we haven't heard the call of the Tig.
Roll Tig.
Yeah. So, the question of the evening.
Yes.
Are they really UFOs from, aliens from another planet? Or is there some Silicon Valley startup that's just fucking around?
Well, I
think they're UFOs.
UFO just refers to there's something in the air and we don't know what it is.
Yeah, but commonly, everybody assumes it's aliens, right?
Yes, it's aliens. It could also be.
Is it aliens or is it not?
Could be humans from the future.
I think
flying cars from the future. That's my guess.
So
I'm staking that claim now.
So here's the thing. These things supposedly violate the rules of material science, right? They go supersonic without leaving a sonic boom. They do all this stuff. So if you say a thing can't do that, right? What is it? I think it's not a thing. I think it's a distortion caused by something else.
Heavy metal.
It's a multi-dimensional thing intruding into our three-dimensional space.
Are you saying it's bigger on the inside?
Yes. But if it was a multi-dimensional thing intruding into our 3D space, you'd see like a piece of it, and it could zip around all kinds of weird directions. You'd be like, "Oh my God!" And it's just like a multi-dimensional cat waving its paw in the air or something.
Alan, were there diesel fumes at the car dealership? I'm just asking.
No.
He's a lot of sci-fi.
It's aliens.
I'm not going to say it was the aliens, but
I'm still going with humans or the monsters. That's my story. But you know what time it is?
Yeah. What I just wanted to say that if it is aliens, I am neither concerned nor alarmed or surprised, really. I'm like, oh, okay. I just kind of am treating it like if they're here and they're okay and they're like not killing us or fucking with us, like, all right, whatever. Like, I guess kind of like a Second Amendment kind of stance, like, don't start none. Don't be none.
It'd be hard for them to be worse than we already are.
Right.
That's the whole thing is if they had like the big plane, if they had the Death Star, nothing we can do about it.
Yeah.
Right. We're never gonna know because it's 1 minute we're chatting, the next minute it's oh hey, where'd all that harp music come from?
Yeah.
It's show and tell time.
Yay!
Oh boy.
Who wants to go first?
Not me. I went first last time.
I'll go first. I haven't gone first yet.
Okay.
All right.
Go for it.
I'm going to rearrange.
That's Jay.
There we go.
There
we are.
So when I was at the Jeep event a couple of weeks ago, I got this other thing that I couldn't pass up because it is Texas themed.
Is it a Texas switchblade?
Of course.
It's a Texas out the front knife.
It's so fast. It's so fast.
That's hysterical. It's a Microtech design. That's not an actual Microtech though, is it?
I don't know what it is. It's some company that was selling them at a table there, and
Did you pay several $100s for it?
No,
almost certainly not a Microtech.
But it's a local company, and they say it's got they give it a lifetime warranty. So
that is a heck of a lot more stable than some of the out the front knives I've handled.
Yeah, it's beefy. I mean, it weighs more than my my Benchmade automatic. But I asked the guy, what's the cycle count time before failure, and he goes, we've never had it fail. I was like, oh, okay. So
my question.
Yeah.
Let's say you have it closed.
Uh-huh.
And you put it up against
a
piece of meat.
I'll show you.
You have a piece of meat?
Oh. Well, I don't have a piece of meat, but I have a thing that'll stand in.
It won't. Yeah,
it doesn't. Okay. It has,
and then you have to shake it.
Right. It has a fail safe thing in it. It won't.
You can't just put it up against somebody's,
right. You can't
and push the button and stab them.
A piece of meat, Jay.
Yes, a piece of meat. You can't. It has to be locked out. Yeah. Then you can stab something, but you can't put it up against something like that and then push the button.
You're gonna stab the camera.
Right.
Oops.
Yeah. Like.
Dude. So less functional than I had hoped.
Yes. I wonder if you could overrule the catch and launch it.
I don't know. But
oh, no.
Anyway, it's it's kind of a neat little thing. But it was the Texas flag that caught my eye. And then I sat there and played with it, and I was like, oh, I gotta get one of these. So anyway. It's some kind of weird, it's not super nice. I mean, the blade is some kind of like no-name stainless steel. I mean, it's not, and it's not lateral. It doesn't feel like laterally it would be that strong. Like you could probably snap it pretty good, if you tried to pry with it or something. Probably not that strong, but for what it is,
still pretty cool. Yep. And I mean,
it is pretty cool.
You're showing a switchblade to a guinea. Come on.
Oh, I know. And it's cool. And they tried some rigmarole about, oh yeah, it's not technically a switchblade. I was like, it's a switchblade. These,
it's a push of a button.
Yeah. Ask the feds if it's a switchblade when you try to mail it to somebody else.
What is the difference? They're trying to say that it's not a switchblade
because it
doesn't open this way.
Well, because a switchblade, you push a button and it swings open, whereas this you have to move a slidey lever and then it pops out. And then
a slidey lever. That's a technical term, kids.
I think that is something that would, if you were going to go to California and try to claim that wasn't a switchblade, you would be in jail.
Yeah. And yes, after 5 years and several $100,000 in court fees, you might be vindicated.
Right. Yeah, it's not worth it.
But no.
I wouldn't try to make that argument. Anyway, that's my show and tell. Who's next?
Cool knife.
Very cool.
Who wants to go next?
I have a fossil.
Rito, go next.
I have a fossil to show.
How fitting. We've been talking about old timey stuff.
Yeah, there you go. For my whole life, I've collected rocks and doodads, and ever since I was a little kid, I just have had like a rock collection. I would probably drive my parents crazy. There used to be this restaurant that we'd go to every week, and it was like a Ponderosa Steakhouse or something. But outside in the landscaping, they had rocks, instead of like little pebbles or gravel, they had like about this size rocks. And of course, I had to go through all the rocks to find the rock that I wanted to take home. So I had like a box full of rocks. Anyway, so, I'm old now and I still collect rocks and weird stuff. So I'm starting like kind of a cabinet of curiosity. I should post a picture of it on the Sqrpt because it's pretty cool.
It is.
And I've got like a cabinet, and I put a light in it, and I've got fossils and rocks and all sorts of things in there. So if anybody wants to like Google Cabinet of Curiosities, it's an interesting historical thing. Anyway, this is one of my curiosities from my cabinet, and it is a trilobite fossil.
Oh, that's so cool.
Which
very cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. And I love it so much. I've always wanted a trilobite, and I have two of them now, a big one and this little baby one. And I just love it. They're not rare. They're not like a rare thing, but I've always wanted to own one. So there's my little guy.
That's cool. That's a really well-defined one too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
any moment he's gonna like wake up, and be like, "Oh, hey, hold on, I gotta go for a walk."
I know.
It looks like
so
it looks like Han
I wish
Solo
I always
frozen
look
in
at
the
them, and I
carbonite.
wish I could have. It does. I wish all the time that like you see fossils and stuff, but you don't ever get to see these types of creatures in 3 dimensions.
Right.
Like, you know, these little things are eyes up here, and apparently they have really kind of detailed eyes. I don't know. Anyway.
Cool.
Hey.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, I have,
Jay?
like Alan, a knife. I have a special knife.
Oh, okay.
This is my running knife. It is a SOG cash card. And it is ridiculously thin and light.
Wow.
And I can't get the edge. And I just launched it. So I was trying to be...
Don't hurt yourself.
Trying to be all slick and failed, which is pretty much the story of my life.
Well, you can...
Normal...
You can try again.
Well, normally you can just snap it open. And of course now I'm like...
Right.
And I can't do it on camera because I'm an idiot. And
so you hold the blade and flick the body of it.
you hold by the thumb hole and give a quick... There we are.
Hey, all right.
Oh, there you
go. So, in addition to your normal, just and I can't do it up backwards, but
some dude.
You just spin it out and
thumb hole.
But it's very very small, very light, very thin, can function as a money holder, like a money clip, and kind of just not that you would try to pass it undetected, but
cool.
You had a bunch of stuff in your pocket, nobody's gonna be like, is that a knife? No, it's my money clip. What are you talking about?
If you threw it down in the tray,
so you carry it
with the knife side down and money actually in the clip, it would probably pass as a money clip.
So, it would depend on how attentive the person at the display was, but not that I would ever do that, of course.
Never attentive.
No.
It's, it's just a neat little thing. It's super, super light. Allegedly stainless steel, but I do have to brush rust off it, every once in a while because I sweat really bad when I'm running. So, but it's something we. Do
you put it in your pocket when you're running, or you clip it to a waistband, or what do you do?
I basically
what?
Clip the knife to my right pocket and my pepper spray to the other, and that's my, that's what I do. So, but it's better than nothing. Beats a pointed stick, and we've had a number of dog attacks on joggers. So I tend to be a little concerned about that. So not that I would want to stab a dog, but I would also rather not get bitten. So
yeah, could be like that guy that killed what was it? Some dog was it? Who was it? Oh, the coyote was attacking him.
He killed it with his grizzly bear with a pocket knife.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's depends on how motivated you are.
There's a dude who should not have to buy his own beer. That's all I'm saying. You kill a grizzly bear with a pocket knife, you kind of win. You kind of win whatever the contest is. It's I don't care to be like I solved the 4th law of thermodynamics. She'd be like, I killed a grizzly bear with a pocket knife. Oh, hey, you win, dude.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, Alan, I just got the notice that I was waiting for, so I'm going to have to say my good nights.
Well, we're done. It's been an hour.
Good night, Jay.
I have to pick my daughter up from work.
Yeah.
All right. And we'll be back next
week.
week.
Got the call, so.
Bye, y'all.
Next week. Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you.
Bye.
Good night, everybody.
See you later. Bye.